Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Habs post-game show here on Langer at the Mic Live. And that was a tough one. Canadians lose Game 4 by a score of 2-1 in overtime to the Vegas Golden Knights. Nicolas Roy scoring the overtime winner. But the good news is, or just news, I guess, is that while I'm in Toronto, or while I'm in Montreal, let's start with that. While I'm in Montreal in these playoffs, the Habs are 0-4. And let's actually start back up a second. Happy Father's Day to all fathers out there. And yeah, just hope everyone had a fantastic Father's Day. And I am in Montreal to celebrate Father's Day with my family and had a wonderful day. Tossed the ball with my dad, just having a nice, relaxing day with my dad and with my family today. And but along those lines, that whenever I'm in Montreal, the Canadians are 0-4 in these playoffs. But when I'm in Toronto, the Habs are 10-1. And I'm going back to Toronto tomorrow. So don't worry. The Habs will win in Vegas on Tuesday night. You've heard it here first. But man, honestly, this game it's just hard to wrap my head around. The Habs were the better team. I mean, it's almost the reverse effect of Game 3, where Vegas just dominated the Habs, and they outshot the Habs 30-8 through two periods, and the Canadians just found a way to win. They took a little bit of luck from Marc-Andre Fleury, sure, but the Habs, they pushed the pace in the third period. They're much better in the third, much better in overtime in Game 3, and found a way to win. Tonight, the Canadians were the better team tonight throughout pretty much the entire hockey game. Tonight, the Habs had the lead in shots 28-21. And before in regulation, they outshot Vegas 28-18. 28-18 were the shots on goal through regulation. So the Canadians were the better team tonight, but with a little bit of a lucky bounce from Vegas, another defenseman, friggin' Braden McNabb, off a play by William Karlsson behind the net. Braden McNabb finds like a little spot underneath Carey Price's arm to beat him. Like, lucky. The same way the Habs got a little bit lucky and found a way to win Game 3, Vegas tonight got a little bit lucky and found a way to win Game 4. But you need a little bit of luck to win in the playoffs sometimes. You do. So I'm not making that an excuse. And honestly, and this also was like the first time, I would say, all playoffs where Carey Price was the second best goaltender on the ice. Not to say that Price played a bad game tonight, but just Robin Lehner was that good for Vegas tonight. That's how good he was. He robbed Eric Staal and Yoel Armia in the first period. That could have very well set the tone for the Canadians. This was also the first time the Canadians score the first goal and lose in these playoffs. But yeah, Robin Lehner was the better goaltender tonight. Like I said, big save, huge save on Eric Staal early in the hockey game. Then there was also the big save on Cole Caulfield on a breakaway. There was also, like, the Habs, they had some good scoring chances. I feel like they could have gotten a little bit more traffic in front of Robin Lehner, who obviously started in place of Marc-Andre Fleury. And obviously there was other name where the Vegas Golden Knights general manager tested positive for COVID after Dominique Ducharme tested positive ahead of Game 3. Kelly McCrimmon tested positive for COVID ahead of this game for Vegas. So yeah, so that was a distraction that they also had to overcome. Just you draw the parallels from Game 3 to Game 4. It was the same script, but just reverse roles between the Habs and the Golden Knights. Papa Langer in the comment section there, was great having you home for the weekend so that we can celebrate Father's Day together. Don't worry, I don't think it was your fault the Habs lost tonight. I mean, yeah, just whatever it is, whenever I'm in Montreal, it seems like the Habs have lost, are 0-4 these playoffs, but 10-1 when I'm in Toronto. So like I said, I'm going back tomorrow morning, so everything will be okay once I get back. And I'll be back for the rest of the series if it goes all the way to 7. So again, though, going back to Robin Lehner, he had to make a big save on Caulfield on a breakaway. He had to also there's a couple of also really good chances by Gallagher, Deneau, and Lehkonen, a couple of nice deflection chances that Lehner had to make a nice save on. Caulfield had a nice wraparound chance in the second. Like, look, honestly, all forward lines. I like the way all forward lines played tonight. And yeah, Sheldon in the comment section there. Now Pete DeBoer looks like a genius. I mean, yeah, like I wasn't disagreeing with putting Leonard in over Fleury tonight. I didn't. You can't afford to fall back in the series 3-1 and come back to Vegas down 3-1. Like, I mean, you're going home so you could win. Like, it's not over clearly from what we've seen from the Canadiens against the Leafs in that series, but at the same time, it's like, you can't. If Fleury wasn't getting the job done in Game 2 and Game 3, so Pete DeBoer, Vegas, they needed to spark something. So even though they outplayed the Canadiens and lost in Game 3, but then again, you can argue that that's kind of because of Fleury, the gaffe that he had late in the game. So I liked the decision of putting Robin Leonard in for Vegas tonight. Like, look, you have two really good goaltenders, so you're trailing 2-1 in the series with one of them playing, so why not go to the other guy? And Robin Leonard again made Pete DeBoer look really, really smart for that decision. And because then again from the Habs side, I don't have a problem. I don't think I could really find a problem with the way all forward lines played. All four forward lines played really, really well in this game. The only way I guess I can nitpick is that they didn't score enough goals. And that's it. They scored only one goal. And the Habs, to win in the playoffs, they need to hit that magic number of 3 with Carey Price in net. So, just Kotkaniemi did so many little things really, really well in this game. And I tweeted this at Mike Langer. Check me out on Twitter. Give me a follow there at Mike Langer. But Kotkaniemi did so many little things well. He broke up a pass to Nicolas Roy in the first period that could have very well been a goal. He did a great play supporting Ben Sherratt in the second period, presenting himself as a breakout option when Sherratt was being forechecked, and Kotkaniemi put himself in great position. His line mates Byron and Anderson. Byron with the beautiful goal after the penalty, after the really weak hooking call on Nick Suzuki, which we'll get to in a little bit. We have to talk about Chris Lee. Not the reason why the Habs lost tonight, but it's just still another awfully officiated game. And Chris Lee and Dan O'Rourke should not officiate another game ever. Definitely not in these playoffs, but ideally ever. But anyway, I guess we could get into that a little bit towards the end there. But yeah, look, Byron, Anderson, and Anderson was great again tonight. He didn't score, but he had another really nice play, another smart. You don't see a lot of hockey sense plays from Josh Anderson, but he had one in the first period where he just took the time and space that he had to try to outweigh Robin Leonard, but he just missed the net with his shot. There was a nice, great play, another great play set up by Kotkaniemi and Byron to Anderson, who had an opening short side on Robin Leonard, but just missed. Josh Anderson had 10 hits tonight, only 2 shots on net, 2 of them missed, but he had 10 hits tonight. So Josh Anderson was one of the reasons, or he's one of those guys that, again, he's tough to play against, even if he's not scoring. I will say though, game 1 he had a bad one, and he had a couple of underwhelming games in the Jets series and even the Leafs series, but still at the end of the day, Josh Anderson has done more good in these playoffs than bad, and he's been like when you think of the Habs, the idea of them wearing teams down, because the Habs, again, they outshot, and I believe they out-hit Vegas as well tonight, 40-24 with the hits in favor of the Canadiens. So not only are they getting good goaltending and opportunistic on offense, not opportunistic enough tonight, obviously, but they're also wearing teams down with their physicality, and Josh Anderson is a big reason for it. And also Nick Suzuki had 7 hits tonight. Nick Suzuki, who had another great assist, the same way he sprung Byron loose in game 3. He sprung Caulfield loose in game 3 for that tying goal. He sprung Byron loose with a great pass tonight. Or I shouldn't say a great pass, a good enough pass, and Byron made a great play to cash off his skate and go just beat Leonard with a quick release shot on the breakaway there. Michael in the comment section, do you think the refs are bought out? I mean, look, I don't really know what to say, honestly. I mean, can you say that the NHL wants a Vegas Tampa Stanley Cup final? I guess you can say that. I mean, I don't know. I really I don't get it. Like, with the way, and it's both ways. Honestly, I won't even argue this in favor of the Canadiens. Like, it's for both ways, because Weber got hit from behind by who's the forecheck? By Nosek in the second period. And then Weber punches him in the back of the head and cross-checks him. No penalty, no retaliation. That should have been called on Nosek for hitting Weber from behind, and that should have been called on Weber for the retaliation there. And then Perry obviously had 3 times at least where he took the puck to the net, forehand, backhand, and missed because he's getting held or tripped up. That didn't get called. And then Suzuki gets punched in the face by Braden McNabb on the power play. That doesn't get called. Of course, the only power play the Habs get in this game is at the end of the period. So I don't know. You can argue either that or just Chris Lee is an awful referee. When you think of other refs in this NHL that have like Kevin Pollock, I've been saying all regular season, the Habs have been just not really been given a lot. He's been, and I want again, not even on the Habs side, just both ways. Kevin Pollock has refed some really bad games this year, but again, it's just throughout the entire league, and Chris Lee takes it to a whole other level. But again, I don't want to talk too much more about that. I already talked a lot about it in my post-game show after Game 3. So Chris Lee, just hopefully this is the last that we see of Chris Lee in the playoffs. That's it. That's all I'll say. But yeah, again, Suzuki, great. Caulfield, a couple of really nice chances. The wraparound, the breakaway. I feel like, what if Caulfield shoots instead of Deeks there? You decide for yourself. I mean, I just use your best weapon. Just shoot, go bar down like you did on Fleury yesterday. Try it again. At least force Weber to make a nice save. It's the only, I mean, Caulfield knows what he's doing at high speed more than I'm doing. That was a great play to get himself in that situation regardless. But I don't know. Anyway, it's easy to second guess because the Habs lost in overtime. But anyway. He still played really, really well tonight, Caulfield and Suzuki. And obviously Deneau, Gallagher, and Armia. Well, Armia, Stahl, and Perry. I'll get to that in a little bit. But Deneau, Gallagher, and Lehkonen once again just completely shutting down Pacioretty, Stone, and Nosek, that top line. Stevenson is still out, of course. That hurts. That affects Vegas. But Ducharme is out for the Canadiens. Richardson, look, they said today that Sherrod said that they'd go through a wall for Luke Richardson. Luke Richardson returned the favor and said he'd go through a wall for all players on the Montreal Canadiens. So, yeah, they both can't, no injuries, COVID, whatever. You can't make that excuse an excuse at this point in the season. But, yeah, Gallagher, 5 shots on net. Deneau and Lehkonen, they were active on the forecheck all night. I really liked their game. And, of course, the Stahl, Perry, and Armia line. Like I said, Leonard had to make a really great save on Eric Stahl, and they just, every time they're on the ice, they were just really good in the offensive zone. And then all night until the overtime, Weber, Petrie, Edmondson, and Sherratt were all I really like the way they played. I mean, are they Cale Makars or Erik Karlsson in his prime? No. But they just, all playoffs, they've been doing a fantastic job just playing a simple game. Sure, a stay-at-home game. Sure, a boring game, but still keeping things simple, minimizing their mistakes, blocking shots, playing physical hockey, Sherrod had 5 hits. Weber had, 1 hit, but 23 minutes. It's interesting, though. Sherrod played 25, but Petrie and Edmondson played more than Weber tonight. I found that interesting. But yeah, Edmondson, 26 minutes. Petrie, 24, I think I saw. Where is it? Yeah, 24 and a half. Sherratt, 25. Sherratt always seems to lead the Habs in ice time for whatever reason. And Weber, 23. Obviously, Gustafsson and John Merrill, was blanking out there for a sec. They were sheltered. Gustafsson only played 7.5, and John Merrill played 13. But he had 5 block shots. So John Merrill actually quietly played a good game tonight. I like the way John Merrill played, not just because of the block shots, but because he wasn't really noticeable in the 13 minutes that he played. So that's a good thing in my books. But yeah, just honestly, not much more I can really say. Like I said, just really like the way everyone played in this game. They ran Robin Leonard, credit him for playing great on short notice, or in his second start in 40 days, whatever they said at the beginning of the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast. Yeah, and also a good thing. Here's a good thing though, is that the Golden Knights, they're missing a lot of shots the same way the Leafs are missing a lot of shots, because Carey Price could be in their heads, because Nicolas Roy and Matthias Janmark are the only two forwards that have goals for the Vegas Golden Knights in the series, to Nicolas Roy with 2 and Janmark with 1, so that's 3. All of their goals scored by defensemen. You could say the Brayden McNabb goal is a little random, and just honestly, I don't know if I can really fault Price for that. Just, I don't know, like, he covered the post, he did what he could, and it just snuck under his arm while he was playing the wraparound, going from one side to the other. Great play by William Karlsson behind the net. Price was on one side on his post, going to the other side, and he wasn't fully seeing the shot coming from Brayden McNabb. But yeah, I just a bit of a lucky one. But like I said, like, the Habs got a lucky one off Fleury from Game 3, so that's why that the series is tied at 2-2 tonight, because the Vegas Golden Knights evened it up in the third period, and they scored the game winner in overtime off a scramble play from Nicolas Roy. And Price, credit Price, he almost had a chance at that. He was scrambling, did everything he could. I think it was Weber and Sherrod probably on the play there. Bit of a scramble situation, but look, all I can say is that the Habs just have to just find a way to score on Leonard, and that's it. Just the same way the Habs couldn't solve Fleury in Game 1 and did in Game 2 and 3, the Habs have to find a way to solve Robin Leonard in Game 5 and Game 6 and make this and take the advantage once again in this series. And honestly, I think that's all I really want to talk about in this post-game show. As usual, thank you for tuning in, and give me a big thumbs up on this video if you enjoy my commentary. Give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The quality is not as high today because I'm in Montreal and not Toronto, so I don't have my usual equipment. I didn't want to bring it with me this time because, just not ideal to schlep all equipment here to Montreal. But, just saying if there's anything else I want to talk about. Not really. So as usual, thank you for tuning in to this Langer at the Mic Montreal Canadiens post-game show. And as usual, give me a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my commentary. Give me a like or give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike Langer for all 3. And thank you for tuning in. As usual, this Langer at the Mic post-game show. And I look forward to seeing you again next time after Game 5 in Vegas. Go Habs, go. And happy Father's Day.